Hi folks, today I'd like to talk to you about one of my lifetime core values, and that's in how you manage your debt and even eliminate debt altogether from your life. I'd like you to have a goal of having no debt by the time you retire, and let me tell you that some people look at me as a little bit conservative in that regard, but let me give you some of the benefits that we've realized in our family. First, we've been able to have my wife stay home with the kids. We've been able to adopt 2 additional children in addition to the ones we had. We could save for their college education and retirements. And as you imagine, life is just a lot less stressful when you don't have debt in your life. Now in 2007, I wrote a book, and one of the chapters in that was calling for a lifestyle of no debt, at least by the time that you retire. But as you imagine, I've had several people, banker friends of mine and investment professionals, call me and chide me in a friendly way. That called me a little bit old school or out of touch with reality, that people just didn't do that in today's world. But in 2008, as you know, we had a financial meltdown. And it was all caused by this 4-letter word called debt. You see, consumers had credit cards and car loans and were even using their home as a personal ATM machine as they were funding and lifestyles in excess of what they really earned. And on the other hand, bankers were freely lending to even people that really shouldn't have been given loans, and investing their own assets in kind of a wild fashion. So if you combine the attitudes and the actions of consumers with that of bankers, we ran into what's called a perfect storm that caused us to go into a worldwide recession. So where are we today? Now the recessions typically last about 18 months. Here we are 4 years later, and we haven't even recovered about half of the jobs that we lost in the last recession. It is true that when consumers are spending money, that makes the economy work better. The stock market goes up. But now consumers are tapped out and actually scared from what they learned in 2008. And so the economy has slowed down immensely, which stops the stock market from growing quite as fast. So in response to that, our government's come in and said, we're on a white horse and we're to the rescue. We're going to solve this situation and stimulate the economy. But you know what? Our government debt's growing to unsustainable levels. That's unprecedented. We went from $10 trillion just a few years ago up to $16 trillion today. Now, even though I'm conservative, I'm rather optimistic about our future. I do think that we'll solve this situation. But my message today to you is we can't control what other people are doing. We can't control what the governments of the world are doing. But you can protect yourself. And so, best case scenario, I think we're in for a long-term slow growth in this economy. Worst case scenario, I think that we're in a very dangerous position because of the word debt. So here's what I'd like you to do. Some simple actions, because the solutions aren't always complex. One, I'd like to have an emergency fund. So I do not want you to pay off your house unless you have adequate liquidity in your life. You should have an emergency fund. Then you should spend less than you make. Now that sounds easy, but it does take a very disciplined lifestyle. So what we're talking about is not just your money coming in versus going out, but actually having a margin where you save for things in the future, like buying your next car with cash, or pre-funding your vacations and Christmas, etc. So those big things can be covered out of your current spending, so you don't have to put them on credit cards. Third, after you accomplish that, we like to get your house paid off by the time you retire. You see, if you can retire with no debt, you need less income. You have a lot higher peace of mind. And you know what? These simple steps, they work. They work when times are great, when they work when times are bad. They work in all kinds of situations, so you really can't hurt yourself. So at Dickinson Investment Advisors, we not only provide investment and retirement solutions for people, but we want to help coach you through these other situations as well. So to learn more, you can go to our website at dickinsoninvestments.com. You'll see I have a book on that website where you can read about my approach to life and my core values. We write blogs and have stories on our website that you can read about. And I invite you to give me a call and come in and sit down with me so we can talk about your retirement solutions and your investments. Folks, I hope you found this useful. Thanks.